Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Yahweh is the true name of a Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father's Son, the Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to my apostles and to my elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and blessings goes to the hopeful members of the elect. My brothers that are out in the highways pushing His word and His truth in sincerity. Today's lesson, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the spirits and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, which Rachakodash is Hebrew for the Holy Spirit. In today's lesson, I'd like to go into the women are all about wickedness, they're wicked themselves, and they're lovers of it. Alright, they support wickedness, they're all about wickedness, alright? And I want to bring out this script. I want to bring out here in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, which the book of Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon. He basically did a survey, searching for righteousness and wickedness, and mainly his pinpoint focus was on righteousness among men and women. All right. And let's get to it, all right? Let's start at 25. I'm gonna read in the King James and the NLT, but the King James first. Ecclesiastes 7:25. I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more better than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Right. So King Solomon, what he find more better than death is dealing with a woman. All right, especially of today's time. Because a woman's heart, her mind is geared at how she can trap you, how she can destroy you, how she can bring you down. And we see a lot of that with these athletes. You know, we see a lot of these young jakes, you know, they make it in the field, they make it in the NBA, NFL and all that, make a lot of money, and they get married or have a child with a woman that they, in their mind, they thought that woman actually loves them and is for them, but she's only with that man for his money, to trap him up, to put him on child support, to get a big check. All right, she's only with that man for those things, to trap you up. You saw that a lot with Brittany Renner and shit like that. That female dog, all right? That shameless dog, right? How she trapped up a lot of men. You know, you got PJ Washington got trapped up. She's been eyeing his ass since he was playing in college for Kentucky. All right, trying to find ways to destroy his life. But he didn't please the Most High. All right, just like many men. All right, because if you're pleasing the Most High, the Lord's not going to allow you to get trapped up by these women. That's why sometimes you may be talking to a woman or dealing with a woman and everything seems going well, but all of a sudden she ghosts you, she stops talking to you. You know, she just don't want to be with you. All right, or you're at a store and you get a woman's number and it don't work out. You know, she stops talking to you, you know, for whatever reason. See that as the Most High saving you from her, man. Because not all women are woman that right woman for us in this truth. A woman's like a succubus. They're trying to take everything from you. Your soul, your spirit, your time, your attention. All that, man. Your money. Okay? But if you please the Most High, the Lord is going to keep you from these wicked women. Alright? Which all women are wickedness. All women are wicked. You know, don't get me wrong. You do have Akwath, sisters in the faith that do believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom to them. You know, they're trying their best. Okay? You do have brothers that have women that are decent. You know, you got women that are decent to deal with. Okay, they're not perfect. They're not righteous. You know, they're decent. We can deal with them. Alright? But let's get to the point. Let's continue on. It says, behold, this have I found, say the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account. So what King Solomon did was like a survey. Right? Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. So out of 1,000 men, Solomon only found one that was righteous, virtuous. But a woman among all those have I not found. So out of all the women, he didn't find none. All the women that he surveyed, he didn't find one that was righteous. Which shows you that the women are all about wickedness. Women are all about wickedness. And we see that with this world. The woman of today. Look at the woman today. You have this Edomite devil that killed her 3 kids, and you have all these women that are out here trying to support it for it. All right, trying to say, oh, it's postpartum depression, it's postpartum rage. Like, no matter what she felt, is not no reason for her to murder her kids. No reason for her to do that. There's nothing to justify that. But women don't want to. They don't feel bad for the children. They feel bad for her because she was a mother and she had no help. Like these fucking women are wicked, man. They're absolutely fucking wicked, man, in this world, man. Okay, they're wicked. They're all about wickedness. They support wickedness. And King Solomon, I heard that from during his time, man. What shows is an example for us today, man, that, you know, you come into the street, don't expect to find a woman of Sarah, man, because you're not going to find a woman of Sarah. You're not going to find a righteous woman. Okay? These women are wicked, man. They're all about wickedness. That's what they support. Okay? Now, let me get this next precept. Here in Ecclesiastes 7:19. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Right. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Which shows you how wicked women are. Okay. Here it is. The Lord gave them a beautiful robe. And they don't even want to fulfill that robe, man. They want to be the man. They want to have the power. You know, they disguise it as equal rights, which really is not. It's all bullshit. All right, but women really want to have the power. They really want to be over the men. They don't want to be equal rights or be under the men. They don't want to fulfill the role as or the duty of being a woman and marrying a husband, one husband, and bearing his children and taking care of his children. They see that as a burden. They see that as a burden. You know. But it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Let's skip down to 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Right, man. What is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. Who was the first one to sin? Who's the first one to bring sin into the world? Eve, the woman did. It wasn't the man. You know, of course the man Adam sinned, but it was all because of the woman. She caused her man to sin. She caused Adam to sin. Okay? She influenced Adam to sin. Why did the serpent go to the woman, not the why did the serpent go to the woman first and not the man? Because the woman is more gullible, they're more weak. And the thing that the serpent was offering, trying to show her, was pleasing to her sight. It was good because it worked in her benefit. And that's why these women love wickedness, because it works in her benefit. For a woman to be over a man, that's wicked. Alright? But women love that. Women don't want to be under a man. Women don't want to serve a man. They see that as a burden, which that was their sole purpose, man. Your sole purpose was to be a helpmate to your husband. But women see that as evil. Women see that as wicked, man. You know, I remember in high school they brought out this book. It's called The 1955 A Guide to a Good Wife. And of course, you know, the teacher that was bringing this out was a woman herself. And she even said, I don't agree with this, but I have to bring it out. Because you know how teachers, they don't teach you shit. They just go by the book. Go by a fucking program, what they have to teach the kids throughout that year for that semester, right? And it shows you a guide to a good wife. And all the women had a problem with it. And even suck ass niggas. You know, they had a problem with it, man. You know, which a woman serving her man is righteous. A woman cooking, cleaning, bearing his kids, taking care of his children, staying home is righteous. A woman see that as wicked, because remember, we're in an upside down world. Anything that's perceived as righteousness is wicked to these people. Okay? Let's get Isaiah, the 5th chapter and the 20th verse real quick. It says, Isaiah 5 and 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Right, evil, you know, people in this world, they see wickedness or evil as good. Woman being over men, they see it as good when it's really wicked. You're out of order. You're going against the what the Most High naturally set up. You're going against the order that the Lord set up. All right, what's that order? Let's get that real quick before I continue. First Corinthians 11 and 3 says, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. Right, so that's the order. Alright, Yahweh is on top, Yahweh Shai, then the man, then the woman, and then you women have power over the children. Alright? Which, why did the Lord give you the power even over the children for you women? All right, because the children are under you for a certain period of time. You know, and even with the children, all right, depending what race, what gender you have, boy or girl. You know, if you have a boy, your woman used to take care of him, raise him, nurture him, and then there's a time when he goes to his father, so his father can give him the role, teach him his role. Teach him how to be a man, show him things, teach him things. Okay, but if he has a daughter, a woman, a girl, she's supposed to be under her mother and learn womanly things, learn how to serve her husband. Okay, but that's the natural order. But in this world, that's evil. A man being over a woman, that's evil. A man telling her woman what to do, they see that as evil, man. And this is how you know this is a backward society, because for example, I work, right? I was trying to give advice to this Jake. And he's like, well, I gotta ask my wife first. And I'm a blunt person. I can't. Oh yeah, just play. Like, the fuck you gotta ask your wife first? Like, why you gotta ask your wife? Like, you're the man. You should be the one to make the decision. Why you gotta worry about your wife? Who cares what she say? You gotta do what's best for you. You're the head of the family. Alright? But this is an ass backwards society, man. Men don't see it like that. People don't see it like that. It's all about the woman. It's a saying, happy wife, happy life, right? But that's fucking bullshit. Excuse my language. But that's bullshit. Women are never happy. Women are not happy. Women are never satisfied. Women, like, you have the Most High give a woman a big breast, beautiful lips. But what does the woman do? She will go to the doctor, go to Esau to get a breast reduction. She'll go to Esau to get lip fillers and change her lips. And if the Most High can't please these women and what they have, then what makes you think that we can? Women are never satisfied. Like, you take them out, you always gotta do something. You always gotta do something greater than what you did last week. And this is why it's not geared to us men to serve these women. The Lord created a woman to serve us. All right, the scripture says that a woman is our possession, is our property. All right, they serve us. We're not supposed to serve them. But this is a backward society, and when you come with this mindset, when you speak the truth, you're looked at as evil. All right, going back to Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil. That put darkness for light, and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. All right. So woe unto you that call evil good. And you women, that's all. You women are all about evil. You're all about wickedness. You see that as good because it's good to your eyes. Hey, even when you go to, I think Genesis, it says that, right? Let's see, if I'm not mistaken, Genesis. Oh, so there you go. I'll start at the top to build the context. Okay. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and the 1st verse. Hold on, give me a second. How far am I? 32 miles. 2:15. Alright, that should be good. Alright. This is Genesis 3:1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the fields, which the Lord Yahweh God had made. Right. Now the serpent is not an actual snake like people will read it. It refers to a man. This was Esau Edom back then, with melanin. Alright, he was a man. He was known as the son of the wicked. Alright, and why was he referred to as a serpent? Okay, when you go to the word serpent, Hebrew word is nachash, which goes back to divination, witchcraft. Go to the root word, right? To practice divination, divine, observes, right? And who does that mostly? Esau Edom. How you think he built up this country? How you think he got you people seduced? It's through witchcraft. Okay? So the serpent ain't referring to an actual snake. It's referring to a man, which was the wicked. Alright? Esau himself, the wicked. Okay? He's that serpent. You go to Revelation 20, it says the old serpent. And the devil, which is Satan. Alright? So Apostle John was referring to Esau as the old serpent, the devil, a false accuser, slanderer, Satan, which is Hebrew for Shatan, meaning adversary. Right? Esau is the physical counterpart of Satan. Okay, he's adverse to the Most High's laws, his ways and his righteousness. All right. So Esau is that serpent. It's not actual snake, and the snake is like a subtle beast. Like, if you look at a snake, like, you can read a dog, right? For example, I'll compare a dog and a snake. When a dog is about to bite you, it's gonna show you that it's gonna bite you. It's gonna give out signs and warning, besides showing its teeth. And sometimes Like, if you know dogs and you know how to read dogs, they always give signs. They don't just attack you for no reason. They always give signs. You just have to know how to read them signs. But let's just use the common one. They show their teeth and they growl. That's a sign. That's a sign of aggression. That's a sign that they're either about to attack you, they're about to bite you. But if you look at a snake, an actual snake, right? I'm talking about animals here. They're hard to read. You know, you can't tell if they're about to bite you. You know, you can't really read. They have like a poker face. You can't tell their emotions. You can't tell if they're full, if they're hungry. I remember I went to Hollywood once a long time ago, and you had those people that bring out these snakes and shit. And I had one, and I was like, oh, let me see what a snake feels like, right? I put the snake on me, and he was crawling up, like, his face. He was like going up my he was like on my hips area, and he was going up to my face, and I'm like, I asked the owner, is he about to bite me? He's just looking at me like, I can't tell, because snakes are subtle. You can't tell. They're very subtle being. That's why Esau's referred to them as the wicked is referred to as a serpent here. Okay, it says more subtle than any beast. The beasts of the field represent the other nations. All right, the sons of men are the heathens. It says, which the Lord God had made. It's lucky, give me a second. Alright, it says, and he said unto the woman, yeah, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Alright, because we're Adam and Eve, the Adamites, the sons of God, we're only supposed to know of righteousness. They weren't even supposed to know what sin was, or what wickedness, or the ways of the heathen. Alright? When you go to the book of Jeremiah 10:1 real quick. Damn. It's lucky. Jeremiah 10:1. Real quick. It says, Jeremiah 10 and 2, it says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So we're not supposed to learn the way of the heathen, the ways of these nations, because it's wickedness, it's abomination to the Lord. The Lord created Esau to be wicked. The Lord created these other nations to serve the gods and to be wicked and do abominable things. He created us to serve Him. That's why we're known as the sons of God. All right, that's why Esau is known as the son of the wicked, because he's geared to wickedness. He's supposed to be wicked. All right, but us, we're supposed to be righteous. It says, verse 2, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, which what the woman Eve was telling the serpent was, we're only supposed to ways of righteousness. We're only supposed to know righteousness. All right. And it says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Right, man, because we were not supposed to learn sin, learn wickedness, which was that fruit that the serpent was trying to teach the woman. All right, the ways of wickedness, his philosophies, which is what? What's part of his philosophy? What's part of his ways? That a woman can be over a man. That's part of it. A woman can be equal with a man. That's part of his philosophy, his ways. Giving a woman rights over the man. All right. But it says, so she was telling. She's breaking it down. We're not supposed to learn, eat this fruit. Learn this because he said we're going to die if we partake in this. Right? Here's the serpent being subtle, right? It says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Which, that was a lie. Alright? That was a lie. That was a big fat lie. And this shows you the woman, like, the woman just said to you, like, we're gonna die. We can die if we learn this, if we do this. If we know what this fruit, what's in this fruit. If we learn the ways of the other nations. Let me look up the word fruit. Let's see if we get anything out of it, by the way. I remember looking it up. I don't know if it was a different Hebrew word for it. Oh yeah, basically the same way I remember from last time. Fruits of actions. Action of what? Action of righteousness, action of wickedness. Right? Let me see. Let's do the word. Yeah, not much. Okay, but going back, it says where was it? But yeah, so this is where the serpent lied, right? This is how he was subtle. He was telling the woman that you're not gonna die. You know, it's good that you eat this, right? It says for the most High doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And he was telling the truth at that point when he says we shall be as gods, knowing both good and evil. When the Lord did not create us to know good and evil. He did not design the sons of God to know of evil. He designed them to know of righteousness. That's why he told them not to learn the ways of the other nations and not to eat of that fruit, which is the ways of the other nations, ways of wickedness. We're not supposed to learn that. We're supposed to be gods. We're supposed to be his only know righteousness. All right, because if you learn that, you're gonna die. Because what is that? When you die, you sin. All right, the sin, like the scripture says, sin is the wages of death. Sin brings death into this world, right? So when you learn the ways of the heathen, you commit sin against the Most High. That brings death. So going back to Ecclesiastes, right? Real quick, let's go back to that. Well, not Sirach, I mean. The seventh. Rock was it 25 or 24? Yep. It says again, the woman came the beginning of sin. We're reading it. All right, Eve was the one that sinned, and through her we all died. All right, why? Because who brought death amongst our people when really we were supposed to live forever? The woman did. Alright, we're in this condition because of her. But at the end of the day, it was all set up by Yahweh Bashim Yahshua for this to happen. Alright, this is all part of the story. Alright, this is all part of the story. Okay, but anyway, it says this is the point. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, see, woe unto them that call evil good. Because women, they see wickedness as good. Just like Eve, she learned the ways of the heathen, and she was learning, and she saw that it was good to her. Like, oh my God, this is good. She was eating it up, man. Alright, she saw that it was good. Good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Alright, so she eventually caused Adam to sin. But she was the one that sinned first, and she caused Adam to sin. Because you know how men are. You know how men are with the woman. You know. That's why Esau, they use a woman against us. They use a woman to extract information from men, to use men. You know. But a woman was the one that sinned. She's the one that brought sin into the world, because it was good. You know, but she didn't know that she got lied to, man. You are gonna die. Or if the Lord told you not to do this, then why would you listen to a man that told you that? Oh no, don't worry what the Most High said. You know, I know He said you could die, but you're not gonna die. You're gonna become gods, knowing good and evil. And she got deceived by that. Because, you know, Esau with his subtle words. Alright? But let's skip down to the punishment, man. Because this is the reason, like, you got, like, this Lindsay Clancy, and these women are blaming, saying it's all postpartum awareness and postpartum depression, postpartum rage. You know what that is? It's just demons, man. That's all that is. It's just demons. That's what y'all have, man. That's what y'all go through. It's just, you just got demons on you. Alright, demons jump on you and make you feel depressed, make you feel rage, all towards your husband. That's all it is. Because in the kingdom of heaven, Israelites are not going to go through this. Alright, you're not going to experience postpartum depression, rage. You women are, our women are not even going to experience, only for Israel, right? Our woman is not even going to experience the birth pains. They're going to just push out the baby. And even the pains that they feel, you know how like a woman, they get the big belly, it you know, it hurts their back, you can barely walk, it, you know, they gotta pee every goddamn moment, you know, they're not gonna feel pain during the whole pregnancy, man. They're, you know, it's gonna be a natural birth. You know, they can be able to do a lot of things with a baby compared to this weak ass flesh. You know, and part of the reason why women go through that rage and, you know, the postpartum, and it's because they're in this flesh. This flesh is weak. Okay, but let's go into the punishment. I'm gonna go to the punishment of the woman, right? It says, unto the woman, this is Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and the 16th verse. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And what is that? That's those birth pains. Which there's nothing that Esau can have, no drug that Esau can give you that can take away those pains. You're gonna have to go through that. The epidural ain't shit. You still feel that pain. You still feel those birth pains, man. Those contractions, that was painful. Yeah, you still feel that. And even like part of the sorrow is what happens before birth. You know, like during the pregnancy, I mean, and after. You know, it's all part of it. But you women don't understand. You can't explain why you go through that pain. Why you think the Lord gave you the ability to have a higher pain tolerance than a man? It's all for that reason. All for you to bring forth a child, man. You know? Because pushing out a child is not easy. That's why doctors, they're concerned with the weight of a baby, you know? That's why they want to, you know, like for example, my woman, she's not like, she's a small woman, you know, she's not a big woman, you know, she's short, you know, and the last child I had was gonna end up, if she waited full term, he would have been like 10 or 11 pounds, which would have destroyed her. But this baby ended up being 9 pounds, which still destroyed her. Out of all the children I had, I think this one was for her was the worst one that I experienced for her. But all the pain, she feel that pain. I told her, you know, like, do you know why you feel that pain? Because God cursed your ass. Your ass didn't want to fucking listen. I'm just joking, but it says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, with birth pains, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right, man. He shall rule over the husband, which it was inherently already set up that way for the man to be over the woman. But like it says in Jeremiah, the Lord created a new thing. A woman shall surpass a man. We see that here in America, man. All right, we see that in America. A woman can pass in a man. The women, they're all about wickedness, man. They're all about evil. That's all they're about, man. They're the first one that brought sin into the world. They're the first one that sinned. Alright? It wasn't Adam that sinned, it was Eve. She was eating of and she saw that it was good. It was good to her eyes. Because it benefited her. Alright? You think women are going to support righteousness? Because these women in this world, they see righteousness as a burden. They see staying home, taking care of the children, cleaning up the house. They see it as a burden. It's not a burden. It's not. You're supposed to bring forth a child. That's why women that are focused on career, they don't see it until they get old. And I've seen this with a lot of women, right? That have, women that focus on the career. They have the nice house. They have the 17 minutes, 14 miles. Oh, thank the Lord, I'm almost there. All right, they have the nice house, but what they always feel is empty because they have no children. Because you're going against your purpose. That's why you got women that are depressed because they're alone. Because you spend your life working on your career, not trying to build a family. It's inherently it's normal for a woman to build a family, to bear children. That's what you are made for. That's what you were supposed to do. That's what you're created for. To bear the children, to nourish the child. Okay? The women today, they go against what they were created to do. They go against what the Lord set them up to do. That's why they try to play the man as a role, but that doesn't work out that way for them. They end up becoming depressed. Okay? But trying to find a righteous woman, you're not going to find some. The women in this world are wicked, man. They're all about wickedness. They're not about righteousness. And they expect you to be all about wickedness. They expect you to care about their rights and shit like that, man. Okay? But you got no rights, man. Your rights is under your husband. Alright, you have no rights. Your husband rules over you. Your husband is the man. Okay? But these women, they go against it, man. They become feminists. That's why it don't turn out so good for them. Alright, but with that, I'll end it there. I hope it was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Shalom.